A State Department employee in Japan ignores Trump's orders, allows Americans with coronavirus to fly back to the US. Hello and welcome to TST. If you're new to the channel, tap on the subscription button and press the notification bell so you can receive news and updates that you can rely on daily. President Trump is reportedly furious after a State Department underling in Japan ignored the president's orders and allowed Americans sick with the coronavirus to return to the US from Japan. Ian Brownlee, Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary at the Bureau of Consular Affairs, appears to feel he was right in overriding the president's directives. He has worked in Japan in the State Department for years. According to the U.S. Department of State's website, Ian G. Brownlee became the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for Consular Affairs in February 2019. Previously, he had served as an inspector in the Office of the Inspector General. Mr. Brownlee's previous experience includes serving as the Minister Counselor for Consular and Consulate Affairs in Mexico, where he was responsible for coordination of consular operations across Mission Mexico's 9 consulates general and the embassy. Prior to that, he was the director of the State Department's Office of Central American Affairs, where he was responsible for the implementation of the U.S. strategy for engagement in Central America. From 2012 to 2015, Mr. Brownlee was the principal officer at the U.S. Consulate General in the city of Juarez, Mexico. Mr. Brownlee's previous tours in the U.S. Foreign Service include as the Deputy Director of the State Department's Office of Mexican Affairs as Executive Assistant to the Assistant Secretaries for Western Hemisphere Affairs and Consular Affairs, and in consular management positions in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, and San Jose, Costa Rica. He also served in Matamoros, Mexico, and Santiago, Chile. Brownlee rationalized his decision to override the president and the CDC and allow individuals sick with the coronavirus to return to the U.S., saying, "It's important to remember this was an emerging and unusual circumstance," said Ian Brownlee, Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary, Bureau of Consular Affairs. "We had 328 people on buses, a plan to execute, and we received lab results on people who were otherwise asymptomatic, unill people on a bus on the way to the airport. The people on the ground did exactly the right thing in bringing them home." This was his rationale. People who had tested positive were put into isolation units on board the 2 cargo planes, which then flew to Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland in Texas and Travis Air Base in California. Although officials reassured the press that the sick passengers were thoroughly contained and every precaution had been taken to ensure the safety of the healthy people on board, reports later emerged that people on the flights had no idea they were sharing yet another even more confined space with infected individuals. When the planes landed at their respective destinations late Sunday night, 6 high-risk passengers from Lackland and 7 from Travis were ushered onto an additional flight to Omaha Eppley Airfield in Nebraska. Another deep state employee thinks he is right and the president is wrong. This guy, who worked for the State Department in Mexico for years, thought it was important to send individuals sick with the coronavirus back to the U.S., where they could risk getting others sick. His decision may cost countless American lives. Doctors in China would take a 50-50 chance in treating infected patients, all geared up in quarantine suits, boots, and masks. And yet, after taking all these safety precautions, the virus somehow creeps into the doctors' suits and into their bodies, infecting them, thus killing them soon after. And idiots like these take the chances and risk bringing home not just potentially vulnerable individuals, but confirmed infected patients who have little chance of survival, considered no vaccines have yet been discovered. China is a country that's pretty advanced in technology. They are trying all their best in treating the sick and protecting the uninfected, but still they are failing. That's the truth. And this idiot is just super confident that his stupid decision won't risk nothing. He is literally risking the whole US population's lives. This guy deserves to be kicked out of office for taking such an irresponsible, insensible decision by not just taking it normally, by overriding the highest order, a command from the President of the United States. Hey, I understand that there's a lot of sympathy that's running for the infected patients. There is. I sympathize myself. But from a national perspective, this decision is risking the entire population's lives. You need to sacrifice some for the greater good, sometimes for the country. Let me know if I'm wrong. Share your thoughts, opinions, and reactions in the comments down below. And haven't you checked out the official TST store yet? It has a variety of Patriot-themed custom t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, phone cases, and tons more. Make sure to take a look and maybe help us out picking some products for yourself and your loved ones at great prices. It does make a huge difference to what we're doing here. Link in the description below. If you've liked this report, let us know by tapping that like button down below. Share the news among friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news and updates on TST. This is David Ravine, and I'll catch you in the next one.